To Venezuela now, where after months of suffering, the government has reopened the border with Colombia in a move that will let desperately needed aid flow into the country. Thousands of people crossed into Colombia throughout the day to buy food and medicine. The border has been closed for the past 4 months after the opposition tried to bring in aid via the route. Opposition leader Juan Guaido rallied thousands of his supporters today, declaring Maduro's grip on power was nearing an end, despite today's concession.
What do we still need to be out on the street? What do we still need to keep up international pressure? What do we still need to keep looking for international support?
Venezuela's imploding economy, mixed with political hostilities, have led to waves of violence and a stalemate. The crisis has been running since January, when Juan Guaido declared himself acting president. More than 50 countries, including Australia, backed him in that position. But the Maduro regime has the support of China and Russia and still maintains the backing of key parts of the military. Across the country, 90% of people don't have enough to eat amid an almost total collapse of the economy. The IMF is forecasting that this year the situation will get even worse, with inflation set to hit 10 million%. It's hard to imagine how that's even possible, but for Venezuelans, that's the miserable reality. Over the next 2 nights, we'll bring you an in-depth look at life on the ground in Venezuela. ABC correspondent Zoe Daniel and cameraman Niall Lenihan are in Caracas for this special series.
Until recently, the world's largest oil reserves made Venezuela the wealthiest country in South America. Even now, the capital Caracas could almost be a normal city, until you look closely. It means Diaz-Nel Rincon is doing a good trade in fixing old and broken shoes all day. But he pays a price as the country falls apart before his eyes.
Venezuela is a rich country, but corrupt politicians have damaged it.
Venezuelans are infuriated with their president, Nicolas Maduro. They blame him for the extreme cost of living. The local currency is virtually worthless. 9 out of 10 families can't afford enough food. The situation is so bad that the average person has lost 11 kilograms in a year, and several babies die every week from malnutrition.
Hola. Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás?
Ana Navarro, her husband and 4 children have been struggling to survive on the minimum wage, less than $10 a month.
Lo puede hacer mejor.
Nothing seems to improve. It all gets worse. So I think there should be a change to give the opportunity for someone else to rule.
They're typical of the families we meet, who are trying desperately to hold things together.
What do the children say when you tell them that you can't feed them? It's difficult, huh?
Es muy difícil, te dice ella.
Sí.
Here, the children get 1 meal a day from a soup kitchen. It's not much, just beans and broth, but it's better than nothing for the moment.
So what does money buy you here? In short, not much. A kilo of meat or a carton of eggs will cost you 3/4 of your monthly salary. Throw in half a kilo of tomatoes, maybe a kilo of onions or potatoes, and that's your entire paycheck gone. And the inflation is so bad that the price can change by the hour.
Granos, algunas veces viene lenteja, otras veces caraoticas negras.
Government-backed community councils hand out 1 bag of food per month to each family.
4 kilos.
4 kilos.
Sí.
The economy's contracted by more than half since President Maduro came to power as oil prices crashed. But those who support him say it's US sanctions that are causing the problems, rather than long-running government mismanagement of the socialist country's oil money.
Before the blockades, we had the opportunity to be a great country, a prosperous nation. We had the chance to have it all.
They reject Juan Guaido.
A president like that wouldn't be accepted in the US. A self-proclaimed president would not be accepted in other countries. So why do we have to accept him here?
But outside, where an open sewer spews filth into the street, the sentiment is different. Nearby, a man stops us, keen to have his say.
Los hombres y mujeres pensantes de este país Women and men, young and old, have to realise the critical situation the country is going through these days. Hunger, misery, repression and unemployment.
Venezuelans are commonly punished by government-backed thugs for speaking up like this. His outburst was filmed. However, in a country where money now makes a bag but can't buy one, there comes a point where things speak for themselves. Zoe Daniel, ABC News, Caracas.
And tomorrow night, in the second part of our series, Zoe looks at why this crisis in Venezuela has gone on for so long.
Juan Guaido, the charismatic opposition leader, seemingly came from nowhere to mount a government takeover. Quickly gained the backing of the international community. But his movement has stalled and he hasn't been able to seal the deal. Did he overreach, or are there other forces at play? We'll be looking into that on ABC News tomorrow night.